Well, Erik ten Hag has today revealed that Eriksen is returning next month. That is a very huge injury boost into the camp of Manchester United because we are missing the services of Eriksen. Let's not lie. We miss Eriksen and we would love to see him back into that double pivot of United alongside Casemiro. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as don't miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Erik ten Hag has today gone ahead and really talked about Bruno, that he's happy about him, but there are things he hates him to keep doing. He needs to do the needful and obviously keep acting as a captain of Manchester United. And then lastly, we are going to talk about the United fans that have formed a consortium to take over Manchester United. They are rivaling the Qataris and Sir Jim Ratcliffe to take over Manchester United. Will they raise £6 billion that the Glazers are really in need of to take over Manchester United? All that and more in this episode. And I think this might sum up our day because I don't want us to go late in the night. So in the next 30 minutes, we are going to be discussing these stories here onto this channel. Rock and David is my name. Let's kickstart off with Eriksen, who got injured. After that, Andy Carroll foul as we are playing Reading in the FA Cup. And he got out of the game. And by the time he was heading home, he was donned into a protective boot. But towards the game, after the game of United versus Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final, told us that he has now taken off the protective boot and is trying to do what we call the rehabilitation process. And today, Erik ten Hag has told us that Christian Eriksen will play again this season, definitely, but I can't tell now an expectation. But I think his progress in the rehab is okay. It's going according to plan. Definitely we'll see him, but not before the international break. What does that mean? It means after the international break, Christian Eriksen is going to be part of the United squad. That's going to be a real boost, according to me, because having Christian Eriksen back in the team just helps us have lots of midfield options. With Sabitzer trying to get into the team, if Eriksen returns, I think it's going to help us a lot because the manager might really choose to play Sabitzer and Casemiro in the double pivot. Then he plays Eriksen as a central attack midfielder. Then he can play Bruno wide right as you want. If at all you're having Eriksen as a cam, it's okay to play Bruno that side. I think he can get the service he wants and can do that because you know that in the central midfield, you are having three players that are really ballers that are going to feed him with the ball every time he wants it. And I think we're only having one international break, according to me. After this international break in March, that's going to be between 20th of March to the 31st of March, no other international break, meaning that the manager is doing it right. Eriksen is not going to go. He's not going to go to play for his international team, that is Denmark, and will be so much okay to really return after the international break. And I think that is a very huge plan. It's a very huge plan, very, very huge plan. And I think he is trying to get back beyond the expected time. I thought that he was going to come back in late April, maybe, or mid-April, but Ten Hag hinting about him returning after the international break is really a very huge boost that we can't spend a day without talking here onto this channel. And I said, maybe this will be one of the reasons as to why I come to do this story here on our channel, because it's really a very huge boost for Eriksen returning for Manchester United, as him and Casemiro had made a perfect partnership. Amid him not being that tenacious player, he doesn't really run around a lot, but he gets us a lot of possession, especially in the midfield when he's playing there. He has close to, are they 10 or 9 assists in the season? It shows you that we are missing out a player who plays from the deeper position of the midfield, but spares some time to come up and really create assists. You know, he is a big game player, you get, and he gives us a second option of really creating chances from that central attacking midfield area of Manchester United. He's so much composed and he finds those pockets of space that a usual player can find. That makes him a player who is really unusual, and his talent is really out of this world. That is Eriksen Christian. Now, after Eriksen, we heard about Bruno Fernandes. Ten Hag has said, I'm happy. Bruno is our captain. I think he was the best player in the field of play yesterday. Shows his personality. He played a little bit deep role. We asked him to do. He was a leader, making rhythm of the game, a lot of good passes between the lines. Obviously, if at all you're objective and you are asked who was the best player on the field of on the field of play yesterday as we played which team? Rio Betis. It's supposed to be none other than Bruno Fernandes. And the manager is commending him for having been a leader, played him a little bit deep, but obviously he found himself finding those line-breaking passes, and obviously found himself an assist. And secondly, he scored a goal with his head, something that he rarely does. And this all goes to United capitalizing on every mistake that we make, or every chance that we get to score a goal and not score a goal. Remember, as we played Liverpool, the first open chance we got was that header of Bruno Fernandes, very close range, cross delivered well by Diego Dello. And when it was delivered well by Diego Dello, Bruno Fernandes found that diving header, and obviously he missed on target. But in the game that we played next after losing 7-0 to Liverpool, he comes out and scores that good header into the back of the net. It shows you how much we are trying to improve in every game as a team of United. And secondly, yesterday, there is nothing I saw that Bruno did wrong on the field of play. He was not petulant, as he has always been. No Hollywood passes, no flips. He just got the ball and did the usual things. And if at all he goes to play like that and really gives us the control of the game that we deserve, then Bruno will be one of those players that will be talked about in the world as the best central attacking midfielder in the world. That is Bruno Fernandes Borges for you. And I love the way he played yesterday. I wish he can get us the same game on Sunday. Obviously, that composure he had is going to take us far and far and far and far, especially from that central attack midfield area. And that's why I always preferred Eriksen to play in that position, because Eriksen just passes when it's the right time to pass. But for Bruno Fernandes, he just passes anyhow. That's why I really called in for Eriksen to make such a change. But as it stands, he played very well yesterday, and the manager has given him his flowers. And I too gave him his flowers. I gave him the man of the match, 8.5 score. Good. Most of the games you've seen Bruno coming in through, scoring a goal, creating an assist, but being petulant. You get? Like the game of Barcelona, the goal we concede is the one who really causes that penalty. He went ahead to create a chance for Freddy that leveled the game. Then he went ahead to really pass into Garnacho. Garnacho hits that ball. It deflects off the defender. Then it finds Fred. Fred tries to hit it, and then it lands on Anthony, and Anthony curls it into the bottom corner to make it 2-1 for Manchester United. So it confirms to us how good this player is. If at all he works on his composure, then Bruno Fernandes is going to be unstoppable, guys. He's going to be unstoppable on the field of play. The other thing that Ten Hag talked about was all about the Weghorst's goal that he scored against Rio Betis. As we prepare for the game of Fulham, he said a goal scorer has to score. Weghorst works so hard for the team. He does so many good things for the team by pivoting, creating space, pressing. He finally scored. He deserves it. If there is a player that I wanted to see his goal, is Wout Weghorst. It's Wout Weghorst, because he does everything well. But one thing that is really lacking, it was him getting that one goal. Maybe after getting that one goal, it's going to unlock him into one of those players that are really going to be scoring goals in and out. Very many games, he gets chances, doesn't convert them. In the game of Barcelona away from home, he got a chance. He never converted it. When we are playing Crystal Palace, he got like 3 chances. He never converted any of those. When we are playing which team? Huh? There is another team that we are playing and also missed out on a chance. Against West Ham in the FA Cup, I think he got some chances and never scored. But in this game, he said, I have to bag this in the back of the net, and scored a very, very, very beautiful goal. That rebound that he puts in is really out of this world, and it has really led to Erik ten Hag to really go on and really hail him. And I think now there's going to be a problem in his game and game time. Why? He has been playing when he's the only center forward that we are having. That keeps you with a lot of peace on the field of play. But Anthony Martial is back, and the manager Ten Hag confirmed to us that Anthony Martial is really ready to come in and play for Manchester United, and he's hinting about him even having a go into the game of Southampton that we're going to play on Sunday. Where is my tweet? Where is that Erik ten Hag tweet confirming the return of Anthony Martial? Where is it? 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 So the fact is, Anthony Martial is back. Anthony Martial is back. And his return has really led to the excitement into the fans of United. And the only prayers, we are really praying are simple, that he shouldn't really get injured. That's it. He shouldn't really return when he has not really given us close to 10 or 15 games of football, because we need him on the field of play. We need him. We need him. Why? Every time we play with Anthony Martial, we play better. Games that would have found ourselves scoring just 1 or 2 goals with Anthony Martial, you will score more. You have more of the control. Why? You know that you are having a player who is leading the front line, and he can really press very well and does the hold-up play very well, playing with his back to goal, hence making the players around him better. That is what Anthony Martial gets you, if at all you have him in your team. And Erik ten Hag today has really gone ahead and really given us a very huge update about Anthony Martial. That's why you see to it that in the match preview that I've just done, I've gone ahead to hint about it. And this is what Ten Hag had to say. He said, on if Anthony Martial will play this weekend, yeah, but I think all time he had a good plan until now. It didn't always work well, but he's on his way back. He is back in training, but we will see, but we will be cautious. Yeah, that is Erik ten Hag for you. And coming out and really talking about them being cautious about Anthony Martial, they are real, because you don't want to hurry him back and really he gets a setback. You know the many times they've tried to really bring him back, and he has really gotten setbacks. And those setbacks not only affect the player, but also affect the team. So the physios of United have really gotten to know that hurrying Anthony Martial might be the reason as to why he gets different injuries. And remember, this season, he has gotten close to 5 different injuries: the back injury, the hamstring, ankle injury, then the hip injury. And what is the 5th injury he got? So he has not played very many games this season. It's really worrying that ever since the season started, he has missed out close to 30 games of Manchester United. And that is really very, very bad. Very, very, very bad. And you look at the likes of Rashford, the number of games they've played, he's nowhere near the number of games they've played. Now, we know that he played 3 games in the EFL Cup, that's the Carabao Cup. He has played 9 games in the Premier League, those are 12. He has played 1 game in the UEFA Europa League, those are 13 games. It's really haunting that he's not really keeping fit. It's really bad. But when you look at his results and his goal involvements, having played only 13 games this season, he has 6 goals. 6 goals. That's what he has. He has 6 goals. That is Anthony Martial. So, in the FA Cup, has he scored in any game? Let me see. FA Cup, we played Reading. We first played Everton. I think it was Anthony, Rashford. Martial never scored. In the game of Reading, he was absent. He never played. in the game of West Ham, right? So in the FA Cup, I think he has not scored any goal yet. But these other tournaments, he has been scoring in goals. 13 games played, 6 goals scored. I think he's having like 3 assists. That's it. In the Premier League, I know the assist he gave to Rashford when you're playing Liverpool, the one he gave to Anthony, which other? I think has like 3 or 4 assists this season. So he's almost having 10 goal involvements. That is Anton Martial. And you wouldn't like to miss out on a player like that because every time he plays, he makes our team look better and better and better. Now I'm having Moya Precious, Brokan David. Thanks for those updates, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the updates. Thank you for also watching in. And guys, smash the like button. That is Moya Precious. Then long live bro, proud to be a United fan. Thank you. All right. Thank you for really appreciating the job that I'm doing for you guys because it's not an easy job to get appreciated. And I always like it when you guys come all out and really appreciate the work we do. And I also appreciate back. That is what we call super reciprocation because you guys deserve the love back. That's it. And there is nothing that is good like appreciating one another because it doesn't hurt. Being good doesn't hurt. Now, there is a story I want to end up with. It's coming in from Jacob's Ben. You know, the takeover stuff, it's everywhere. And people are really trying to know and ask me about the takeover stuff. I think I've told you where we are. We are in the level of the second bid. But even if you never took participation into the first bid and you're having your money, I think you can come in through. So, as the Qataris are planning to come to Old Trafford next week on Thursday to tour the pitch, see the contracts of the players, the financial stand of the team, how much money is needed, and to make their other bid that might be their final bid, because Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is threatening that if at all the Glazers don't take the money he's offering to them, he might really leave and walk out of the deal. We have a shocking story. Hot, but you need to be knowing about it, guys. This story is coming in from the United Consortium. The fans of United have formed up something that they want to take over Manchester United by themselves. Now, we are being told Red Devils United, a fan-led consortium, announced they are developing a bid for Manchester United. They want to use the collective power of Manchester United supporters to regain control of the club that they love. That's what we are being told. They said Red Devils United have not formally entered the process, and Manchester United are unaware of the group. A large proportion of funding would come from fan donations. And this is where you sit back and ask yourself, is it a good move for the fans? I think it's good, provided they can really weather the storm. Why? Can the fans of United come out and collect close to 10 billion pounds? Why? Right now, if the fans take over the club and they can pay 6 billion pounds, they need some extra 4 or 6 to see to it that this team really stabilizes. That's it. And how are they going to do it? If they can collect money, 6 billion pounds, and really retain the ownership of their club, then it will be something great. But it doesn't end from owning the club and taking it off the Glazers. It has other extended calls that you need to meet. First and foremost, the pitch, renovation of Carrington, investment in the club through signings. Now, I have a narrative that I really believe in. With Eriksen at that club, if you back him, extend the stadium, or really build a new stadium, a new state of art that is really so much onto the world class, you'll find yourself in a position of getting in lots and lots of money. I also believe that if that debt is cleared of close to 600 billion pounds and United is debt free, we can make in a lot of money under Erik ten Hag. Even if our wage bill is at 400 million pounds, I believe we can stretch to 1 billion pound per season, all per calendar year, all per financial calendar year, if at all, we are really given a chance to do that. And that's why my calls for the new owner are simple. One, we should call in for any person to take over the club of Manchester United should be able to clear the bill. That's my first call. He should be able to clear the date that United is really having. If at all you get that person who can really clear off the date, then that will be great. It will be great for the club. Now, after clearing off the date, getting the Glazers out, I think we can extend our income to 1 billion pound. Why? I've had United proposing a deal of the new shirt sponsorship. It might be the biggest in the world. They are trading a narrative that United is having 1 billion fans in the world. 1 billion. If you're having 1 billion fans in the world and you've not been winning trophies for the previous years and you are now performing better, then you should be calling in for a lot of money. Why? There are hallmarks of us winning the Premier League again, Champions League, that are really showing up under the Erik ten Hag era. And we expect that to happen. We expect that to happen. So if we are winning, we are going to be making twice, to me, the amount of money we've been making without winning. You get? So if these people come in through and take over the club, they can do the needful and finance it. Because I believe if they can get 1 million people who can really give them, let's not say 1 million people, let's say 100 million people. If they can have 100 million people and every person can raise 1,000 pounds, 1,000 pounds, even if they're 100 pounds, that is 10 billion pounds. If we can get 10 billion pounds, then they can take over the club, cash in for the Glazers, they part ways, and obviously retain the club. But the problem is simple. Will the Glazers allow these funds to buy the club? That's the huge question, because the Glazers don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be exposed. One will say, but can the funds raise that money? Trust me, these funds can raise that money. They can raise that money, but the big question is, how is that money going to be controlled? And to which account will the funds be putting that money on? Who is going to be the signatory that calls in for them to form a registered consortium with a chairman and everyone that is non-legally, such that if at all things go wrong, you have somewhere to run to see it that you save the consortium. So I think it's workable. I'm not going to rule it out 100%, but I don't know how much time it's going to take for them to raise that amount of money, because it's said that the Glazers want this deal to be done, meaning the sale of the club to be done before the end of March. So can these fans of United collect money and bring it on table that is worth 6 billion, because that's what the Glazers want? And it will be music to ears of the Glazers, because for them, they would love a bidding war. And the bidding war really creates lots of chances for them to see to it that they get the 6 billion pounds they value from Manchester United. Now, I'm having Moya Precious. That's good to hear that Eriksen is soon returning. Yeah, Eriksen is soon returning, and Eriksen is going to confirm to us that he is not far away from returning, meaning that in a space of 2-3 weeks, Eriksen might find himself into the starting 11 of Manchester United, and I think that is when the international break is done. And Eriksen is really a very good player that we've been missing. If I told you you've seen that midfield play, you wouldn't like us to play without Eriksen. Then I'm having Esther Kumaka. All right. Thank you very much for watching in through. That is Esther Kumaka. But I've already done what I call the match preview of United versus West Ham. It's United versus Southampton. You can as well go into the video section and watch that video because I've done it and you guys should enjoy it because I do these things for you to go ahead and really enjoy them. So your thoughts onto the very many stories we've done are welcome in the comment section below, and smash the like button, guys. Smash it like no other. But going back to the fans of United, trying to buy the club, I think it's a good idea. Good idea. But how is that going to be controlled? You get? Because they need to put out something that is going to really act as a confidence booster to the fans of United to go out and really put in the money. And I believe if this club gets back to the fans, people will say, but where are we going to be getting the money? Trust me, if these fans can really go ahead and solicit 10 billion pounds, then they can take over this club and run it very, very well. The beauty of having a fan taking over the club is that he'll always do things that really help the club win. Not like the Glazers. A player that the manager wants, they don't go for him. A player that other teams are really wanting and the manager is not wanting to take him, they go in and really pay ridiculous salary or ridiculous wages, ridiculous prices for the player. Like Fred. Man City wanted Fred. He was worth 25 million pounds. United ended up paying 53 million pounds. So it is really weird at Manchester United. It's not the usual story that we go ahead and really talk about here, but the fans of United, known as the Red Devil United, they want to buy the club of Manchester. And I can't come out and really say that those people are really doing something that is not really first thought about. It is something they first thought about, and they have a very good plan to execute this because the days are really numbered. What if, after the meeting on Thursday, we get an announcement coming in from the reigning group that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has taken over the club? All Qataris have taken over the club. So as it stands, it calls in for lots of things from the fans of United. If they can gather that money well and put £6 billion on table, then they can take this club. But will they be able to sack the people that we see as incompetent at the club, like Richard Arnold, John Mata, and very many others? That will depend on the decision-making of them. But to me, I still stick with Qatar. Because Qatar is not going to go anywhere to solicit money. Sheikh Jassim Al Thani spends Christmas always at his place. So, as it stands, United is doing a very good job. Erik ten Hag has talked about the return of Eriksen in April. Then, that is after the national break. Wout Weghorst commended by Erik ten Hag for his goal he scored at Old Trafford. Then we talked about Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, obviously performing very well. And I'm having Mwoya Precious. Finally, if United sign Osimhen as a central midfielder and defender, will they breach the financial fair play, bro? That's why I've always told you that we need to sell to buy. We need to sell to buy. I think there are players that we can sell and we raise close to 160 million pounds. I've always said this, and I've seen today's story that even Anton Martial is going to be sold by Erik ten Hag. He's thinking about selling him because of him being injury prone. So I think it's hard for us to breach the financial fair play rule. But it's really hard to beat. But I know Anthony will come in through and do the needful. But when you look at Victor Osimhen, very expensive striker. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to put out a story of Harry Kane being fronted as the #1 choice signing of Erik ten Hag. But for the financial fair play rule, I think we're not going to violate it because we know the repercussions. You might lose trophies, you might lose points, you might even get demoted from the Premier League and the Champions League. So, guys, thank you very much for checking through. Moya Precious, it has been a pleasure having you here. Esther Kumaka, thank you for watching through. And why don't I call it quits for now here onto the United Matters channel, because you guys have been amazing. And all those that are going to watch this video later, thank you and keep it United Matters channel. I'm out. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. Bye-bye.